Another review coming up for you. This time around it's Stella Artois Unfiltered Premium Lager Beer. That's right, Stella Artois Unfiltered. Now, by unfiltered, there's a few of you going to ask, what does he mean by this? What does he mean by unfiltered? Well, I'll be honest, I didn't know what it meant up until fairly recently. I got talking to a guy, a good friend, a guy named Gary, who does a lot of brewing himself, a lot of home brewing, and he told me everything I needed to know. Basically what it is a lot of beers, when they're being brewed, they produce, well, there's a lot of yeast and proteins swirling around in there, and it doesn't make the beer look very clear. And a lot of people back in the day, and still to this day, want theirs looking a bit more sort of transparent and a bit more champagne-like. So they'd get the brewers to filter out the yeasts and the proteins and make it look a bit more clearer. They'd use various means, such as like sheet type products, which sort of thinly filter out the yeasts and the proteins and all that jibber jabber. They'd have sort of plastic devices that were sort of shaped like weird sort of Martians from War of the Worlds, and that'd suck in the yeast and the proteins and it'd spit it out. And there was another more traditional one, which according to Gary is not very vegan friendly or vegetarian friendly, obviously, but it was quite popular. It's called isinglass, which is where they'd get the swim bladder from certain types of fish and throw it in to the brewing process. That way the yeasts and the proteins would sort of be sucked into this isinglass, and from there it would all just sort of clump together and it could be easily removed, filtered out, piece of piss. Obviously not very vegan friendly, not very veggie friendly, so a lot of brewers don't do that anymore, because you know, you want the vegan market and the veggie market, no reason why not. And also, times have changed. People have changed, you know. Back in the day, people used to think that the black and white minstrel show was wonderful primetime viewing. Obviously, times have changed since then, and people's views on alcohol have changed since then. They want the proteins, they want the yeasts in their lager. Why? Because apparently it affects the mouthfeel, it affects the taste, it's just different. And people want different nowadays because people just got sick of the usual. Hence the reason why we have various IPAs, and now Stella Artois has jumped on the bandwagon with its unfiltered option. Now, let's have a look on the bottle. It's a 5% 620ml bottle, which goes out of date on the 23rd of June. June 23. Excuse me. It's the 1st of January 2023. Happy New Year, by the way. But yeah. There's not really anything written on the bottle other than the fact that it's 75% recycled glass, and yeah, it's brewed in the UK without any filtration. So yeah, let's peel the extra label off the top so we can get at the bottle top, and then poppity poop open. As you can tell, I've done a fucking shit job there, haven't I? But it doesn't matter, does it really? Because it's what's inside that counts. Oh, and any of you bottle top enthusiasts, there you go, all this nice and close, because it's not the most easy to read one, is it? It's red on gold background. I always found that quite difficult to read. So yeah, let's open it up and get it out the bottle, shall we? There we go. Okay, it's fizzing a lot. So yeah, apparently it affects the smells quite a lot, and it affects the taste quite a lot, affects the mouthfeel, it affects everything. It's a completely different ball game to what a lot of sesh beers are used to. And as you can tell, got a massive head on us already, so it's 2 fingers, and it's not very clear at all. I can see some carbonation within there, and you can't really see through it because it's not very transparent. Why? Because it's unfiltered, that's why. That's the proteins and the yeast that we mentioned before. You know, no filtration devices, no fish bladders, none of that shit. It's all au naturel. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Take a good look at that right there. It's a golden colour, and it's like a sort of a thick amber gemstone. That's what it reminds me of. You can't really see through it, but it's thick. You know. So yeah, let's have a sniff of this unfiltered beer, see how strong it is. Straight away, yeah, it is quite strong. I'm getting a very skunky smell and grass. Skunky, grassy, a little bit malty, a little bit biscuity, but it's intense. It's very intense. So yeah, that's quite a lot going on there in the unfiltered Stella Artois. But yeah, and yeah, so it's a 5%, 20 milliliter bottle. Most of it's in Zactingo right now, but we know what it looks like, we know what it smells like, and we know the backstory to all this. Boffin, sort of. Thanks, Gary. But what about the taste? Will it be Stella Artois unfiltered premium lager, or will it be Stella Artois unbelievably disgusting shite? There's only one way to find out. Bottoms up and up your bottoms. Here we go. Wow, yeah. You weren't kidding when they said that the mouthfeel was different. It felt like I had two different things hit my mouth, and it's like I had something going there and then something else going there as well. It was like two different drinks. That must be all the extra stuff that they're putting in there, like the yeast and the proteins. And yeah, it's quite an intense taste. It's like a it's everything that I smelled on the nose, but with a little bit of a slightly sweet taste going on there, and there's a little bit of a peppery aftertaste going on at the end, which I don't mind. You know, I mean, I've had Stella before, and I didn't think it was anything special, but this one's actually pretty good. I actually quite like this one. So yeah, I'd say. Yeah, it's alright, this. It's going down quite well. A little bit of a tingly aftertaste. But yeah, I've had way worse. I've had way worse than this. I mean, it's, you know, it's good. It's good. I mean, I'd recommend this over the normal Stella, because I think that the normal Stella, a lot of people say it's a pleb drink or it's wife beater drink, but you know, there's something about this that makes it so unique and interesting. I think it's the fact that it's just, you know, it's au naturel, it's take it as you find it, you know. It feels like it's something that, despite being a mass marketed beer, there's something soulful about it. Maybe I'm just chatting shit, I don't know. Either way, I'd enjoyed it. And I'd give it about an 8 out of 10, because it's heavy, you know. It's one of them. It's like it's all of the tastes that are there. They're good, but it's not the stuff that I'd really enjoy. You know, the usual sort of me. I prefer the sort of a bit more sweetness to it. Maybe a little bit more fruitiness, but not too much. Whereas this is a bit more skunky and a bit more, you know, grassy, which I like, but not as much. So yeah, I'd give this an 8. So yeah, all in all, 8 out of 10. I've had way worse. I hope you've enjoyed this video and fact-finding mission in the same way I have. I've enjoyed myself. And there's going to be more videos coming in the new year. there's going to be a lot of days in this year, trust me, because it's only just the first one. Hey. And I'm not sick anymore. Hey. And also, Everton played Man City and didn't lose. We got a point out of that one. Don't know how, but I'm glad we did. Win-win situation for me. You know, I'm happy with that. So all in all, hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you take care, because I'm signing out. Take care, everyone. This is better. This is better. 3, 2, 1. Hello, love. I've got another review coming up. Right. Yeah. This time around, it is Stella Artois Unfiltered Premium Lager Beer. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, what the fuck is unfiltered premium lager beer? Well, I asked yes, I asked that question myself, and I asked it to a friend that I know, a guy named Gary, who does a lot of brewing himself. And Gary, big shout out to you, Gary, told me what it is. Allow me to speak somewhat verbatim on what Gary told me. Basically, what a lot of beer companies, beer brewers like to do is you better not be scratching to get out. I'm only just shut the door. But yeah, they basically get all the proteins and the yeast out of a beer to make it look more clearer, because back in the day, a clear beer was the most attractive beer because it looked almost like champagne and stuff. And to do this, they used a thing called filter, which was like, they either use like sheet metals or sheet-like substances, or even like sort of plastic devices where. Oh man. Go on. Go. Sorry. It's a pain. Look at that. Tom wants to go out again. Right. I'll just let it in. And basically what it is, you're still staring at me. But yeah, basically what they do is they use various filtering devices. No, this isn't going to work, you ruined it.